So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to FTRL, and it is the F1 action kicking off with round 6 of season 15 for Div 1. This week we are at the home of the British Grand Prix, Silverstone in Milton Keynes. Joining me tonight, as ever, is my co-commentator this evening, Mr. Max Deff. Good evening, Max.
Good evening, everyone.
How are we, mate?
All good, all good. Excited for the race tonight.
Indeed, Silverstone is one of the tracks that always provides fantastic racing, so let's hope more of the same tonight then. So, last time out, China, and a dramatic finale. The late safety car really throwing a spanner into the mix in terms of the order. Meant we had a 14-car train, I think, at the end there, didn't we? Towards the end, there's everybody in the train. And in the end, it was Scuba who came through from 17th on the grid to take victory, following a week on from his teammate doing it from the back of the grid as well. So the Mercedes boys really kicking things off in spectacular fashion. And now we are here at Silverstone to see what happens. So we're going to go aboard with Adamako, who's coming around to start a flying lap of Silverstone. So let's go now. Down the new start finish straight with the new pit complex and into the new Abbey corner. Flings into the right-hander. Through the left and down to Farm, down all the way to second gear. No, he stays in third, and then quick shoot up to Aintree. Tips in, apexes nicely. Now the blast onto the Wellington straight, first DRS zone on the track. Now we're heading back towards the old circuit, past the BRDC clubhouse and into Brooklands. Late apex on the left-hander before throwing it into Lovefield. Sorry, this one's Lovefield. Then we've got Woodcut, which is now the old final corner, as we now go past the old pit complex and then into Copse Corner. Is he going to be flat through here? He is indeed. Flat through there. Now starts building up towards one of the best sequences of corners in motorsport. Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Before flinging it then onto the Hangar Straight, second DRS zone. Now blasts up to Stowe, down to fifth gear, back up to sixth then, narrows on exit, then down to very slow Vale, got overtaking opportunity, and then into Club Corner, the final corner, and Wesker set the first line lap of 24.4, Adamako does a 24.7 and drops into P2, so there is a lap of Silverstone. Early lap times on the board. Wesker Dutch Tricks goes up to P2, but behind Wesker then. So Aaron has bailed out. That was Scuba goes on to provisional pole position, and Joe Chris slots in behind him. So the lap times already starting to filter in. Who have we got? Who's coming around? Positive Ross. See how Ross is getting on. How do you like Silverstone, Max, as a circuit? One you enjoy?
I'm not too experienced on it, but I enjoy it because long straights and good DRS zones, good high-speed turns, a lot of action.
Indeed, the circuit offers a lot of overtaking opportunities, and it's very old school. It's still got that old school feel about it, hasn't it? Even though it's obviously changed quite a lot with the new pit sequence, that new section has been built into it. It's kind of retained that feel of being a classic circuit still, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Div 1, and so on board with City Posh then. Of course, came so close to victory in Baku a couple of weeks ago. Just missed out. What can he do on this lap then? See now heading down the Wellington straight. Through Lovefield corner he comes now. Sort of sweeping line, the late apex. So all the way out to the curb. Through Woodcut.
Very nice. Entering the little zigzag.
Yeah, in through Maggots, Beckett's, Cops. Just drops down a couple of gears to settle the car. Back up to sixth gear as he exits Chapel. And onto the Hangar Straight. Up then to final couple of corners, but he has bailed out of his lap then. So we see that. Oh, now did he get stopped in time there? That may have been a warning. That looked very close to the line there, where he slammed on the brakes.
Good amount of G-force there.
Indeed, very close there to picking up, getting himself in some trouble with the stewarding of the game, but he seems to have got away with it. In the chat already, got evening Fever tuning in there, of course one of our GT2 front runners. Katamy's here cheering on Zumpy, his fellow countryman. He currently sits in P10 on a 25.5. Got Rom in the chat as well, evening Rom.
So Rom.
Fever there, great track, expect a hell of a race. Yep, me too. Silverstone nearly always provides some fantastic racing. Battles all the way up and down the field as well. So expecting a lot of action on track tonight. Pagani complaining he's well slow. Well, he is currently P11 of the 11 people to set a time. So currently that is a true statement. However, I'm sure there's some time in there for you, Pagani. So keep at it. On board then with Tom Duval coming around the final corner, star of China. Of course, made that late race gamble to throw the soft tyres on. Came out in P6, charged his way into the lead of the race before the tyre degradation just caught up with him. However, he managed to hold on to take a fantastic podium, P3 for him last time out. However, he was saying this is not one of his best circuits, so let's see how he gets on. Coming now through the new part of the lap, through Aintree and on to the Wellington Straight. Current running order then is Scuba on pole from Enduro Chris. Got Wesker in third, Panda up in P4 ahead of Dutch Tricks, who's P5 Cowboy. Current championship leader in the Performance League is P6 ahead of Adamako in the Ferrari. AP Amar then, of course, who also had a brilliant debut last week. Qualified supremely well in the top 4. Had a bit of a drama on the opening lap though and fell to the back of the field, but fought his way back through. Very strong finish for him. Hopefully more of the same from him this week. He's got Graham behind him in P9 and Zumpy currently rounding out the top 10 with Pagani in 11. Of course, Tico, unfortunately, with a qualifying ban this week, so he won't be setting a representative time. So that's one potential pole sitter out of the equation. A lot of work for him to do from the back of the grid. But Silverstone is a circuit with plenty of overtaking opportunities, so expect some of those bold moves that he is famed for. As Tom Duval comes out the final corner, pops himself up into P6 and on 24.6. Dutch Tricks on a lap then. Let's go on board with him. Of course, second in the championship now. Had a tough time last time in China. Picked up some wing damage. Of course, having benefited from the safety car the week before, he was actually caught out by it last week, and it dropped him down the order. And then didn't find his way through. So very un-Dutch-like. Of course, we did later find out he had picked up some wing damage. So scrabbling for points at the lower half of the top 10 last week. He has given the championship impetus back to his teammate, and he currently sits on pole. So Dutch currently P5. A little bit of work to do, but 0.4 of a second to find. Coming now to the end of sector 2. Let's see where he is. In terms of time, he's up by 0.4 of a second, so this could challenge for pole position if he can maintain at this speed through the final part of the lap. Then flings it into Stowe. Uses the curb on exit, looking very nice so far. 2 corners to go. First of them is Vale. Gets it slowed down. Looking nice, bit of curb on the first part of club. Oh, catches the curb, has a big wobble. That's going to cost him some time. Pops him second. Just shy, but yeah, you saw there as he got on the power, just the car caught the curb and he had a big moment of oversteer, which he caught supremely. The fact that he's still gone P2 and he's just 0.005 of a second off pole position shows that was one hell of a lap. Yeah, so unlucky there for him. Just caught that curb, just unsettled the car.
Yep.
Zumpy meanwhile popped himself up to P5 there, so Zumpy with a solid lap there, 24.5. Drops himself ahead of Panda by 0.006 of a second, so some very tight battles forming already in qualifying.
City Porsche is going for a lap 2 now.
Yeah, City Porsche and Lennon, the last two to set a lap time. Lennon, of course, is famous for waiting till the very end and just doing one run. He's the man who performs well on the night.
Gosh.
See, Porsche there's only a 32.8. I'm sure there's a little bit more time in there for him. So let's have a look then, just see if anybody is fancying a different tyre. Now, everybody's out the soft tyre here, so yeah, nobody trying the mediums at the moment. Scuba, who currently sits on pole, is out and on track, so let's see how he's getting on. He now goes through Cop's corner. Now building the speed up as he heads towards Maggots, then Beckett's, and then Chapel. Flings it through, coming to the end of Sector 2. Where is he relative to his current time? He is 7 thousandths down. So he's close. Can he find any time in this final sector? We've got purple middle sector, in fact, so he has made some time up for the first sector. What can he do in the final couple of corners? Just 2 corners to go. Flings it into Vale. Now through Club. This is where we saw Dutch Tricks have his moment. No such drama for Scuba, and he improves. No, he does not. No. So at 24.2. Wesker, though, has now closed right in as well. Look, on a 24.280. So he is less than a tenth of a second off. So it is very, very close at the top between Scuba, Dutch and Wesker at the moment. And Joe Chris on an outlap as well. Mar has popped himself up to P5 as well then. So the Williams man showing good pace in qualifying again. He's demoted Zumpy down to P6. Where is Aaron at the moment? Aaron's down in P13. So I'm expecting a little bit more from him. He does like to bank a decent run at the very end usually. So expecting him to make a jump up. Let's go into the pits then. So we've got Enduro Chris on an outlap. Anybody in a flying lap at the moment? No, everybody's either in the pits. Scuba, I think, just finished his lap, hasn't he? So
yeah.
Lennon hasn't set a lap time yet because he's just finishing his KFC off. That's right, he's covered in dirty chicken grease, which I'm sure he will get Goy salivating at the very thought of it. If you're listening, Goy. There's no game audio. Unfortunately, it's probably not a lot I can do about that, Rom. Unfortunately, that will probably sort itself out in the race.
Is Rom complaining?
Yep, sure, Rom. So Enduro Chris then in to Farm Corner and flings it into the left-hander at Aintree. Now starts the blast down the Wellington Straight. First DRS side, of course. At the end of the straight is the first checkpoint. Let's see where he is. He is 61 thousandths up on his current time. So good first sector from Chris, who has shown brilliant pace in qualifying. Not got the race results that his pace probably merits so far. Maybe this is the week that he will convert. It's through Woodcut.
Come on, Aaron.
Through Cop's corner. Now building up the speed. Flinging it into Maggots. Through Beckett's. Through Chapel. Looking very nice and tidy through there. Onto the hanger straight he goes. He is 0.195 up. That's nearly 2 tenths up. This could definitely challenge for pole. Chris with some blinding pace here. Nice and tidy through Stowe. Just 2 corners to go though. First of them is Vale. Nice and tidy through there. Can he get Club right? Stays off that curb. Oh, he's had a bit of a wobble as well. But it is enough for pole position. So Enduro Chris snatches pole position away by half a tenth of a second from Scuba.
Nice. So
Scuba's now going to have to respond into the final 3 minutes of the session. So we've got Aaron on the flying lap then. He is about 3/4 of a tenth up. So this will be a slight improvement, but he'll need to find a little bit more if he wants to get into the top 10. So Aaron's struggling on the bit, a little bit on the back foot here. Is he going to bail out? He is. So he bails out of this lap, but he's got time for another run. So currently the only person on track is Enduro Chris. So we've got a very clear track at the moment. One of the Alpha Tauris looks to be heading out onto track now.
Also, I think. That's...
Is positive Ross. So just to ramp up the pressure, we're going to go and watch Ross. Which I'm fully expecting him to crash any second now. Now he knows that if he knows the camera's on him. So. See Posh out as well, as is Panda. So both McLarens onto track. Here comes the second of the Alpha Tauris as well, Spagani. So taking advantage of a very clear track. More cars now filtering out. We've got Adamako on his way. Looks like Zumpy as well. Here comes one of the Hazes. Renault's on the way. So yeah, everybody now filtering out onto track for their final run. Track will now be at its absolute best, rubbered in. This will be the quickest it's been all session. So we expect to see some lap times to 4. And so Scuba's got to find half a tenth of a second somewhere if he wants to overhaul Enduro Chris, who is on for pole position. Dutch Tricks out onto track. Scuba behind him as well. So here come the Mercedes boys. Out comes Sway. Both the Williams on their way as well. So yep, everybody now filtering out onto track. It's having gone from having no cars on track, we've now got a very, very busy track. Chris has decided he's not going again, so that is his lap done. And now he says to everybody else, beat me if you can. So Ross then starts his flying lap, flings it in through Abbey. Nice and tidy through there so far. So the curb to turn into Farm. Now through Aintree. A little bit of a oversteer moment there. Back end just wobbling, but catches it nicely. Then on to the Wellington Straight. And he is 100th of a second up on his current best. Through Brooklands and into Luffield. Sweeping corner, wait for the late apex, and then get the power on, drive out, use the curb on the exit. Through Woodcut, just a minor kink in these current F1 cars. Nothing to worry about, and then fling it into Copse Corner, flat through there, just scrubs up a little bit of speed, he's run a little bit wide, and he's invalidated his lap time. So Ross has invalidated his lap time, and I don't think he's going to get round to do another lap, so unfortunately I think that is into Ross, who then spins coming through Chapel. So who is first one on their lap? Then we've got the McLarens coming round. So City Posh, no, Panda's the first one.
0.2 down.
He is, he's quarter of a second up on his current best time. Can he hook up these final couple of corners? He comes into Vale, nicely through there, into Club. Can he keep it neat and tidy? Yeah, back end doesn't step out on him here. He's currently P7. He moves up into pole position. So Panda snatches pole position provisionally away from Enduro Chris. City Posh moves up to P9. Adamako's going to be the next one across the line. Comes into Vale. He's got Zumpy behind him. So the Ferrari powered cars, whereas Adamako's currently P8. Does he improve? He does, back up to P7. The man behind him, Zumpy, coming across the line, moves up to P6.
Dutch is behind.
We've got one of, is it Wesker behind them? It's Wesker next. He comes across the line, does not improve. We've got one of the Redders, it's Callboy. He goes up to P10. Got Graham coming out the final corner now. He stays P13. Here come the Mercedes. Dutch Tricks out the final corner. He goes pole.
Yes.
But for how long? Because here comes Scuba. Dutch. And he doesn't improve. So Dutch now provisionally on pole. Who's coming round now? It looks like we've got AP coming out the final corner. He stays P8. Tom Duval out the final corner. He moved up then. I didn't see where he went to. He was the last one across the line. And he stays P12. So Dutch Tricks snatches pole position. And from Panda by 26 thousandths of a second, with Enduro Chris third and Scuba fourth. Look at that, 4 drivers on a 24-1, just over half a tenth of a second to cover your top 4. That is super close again. Lap times down the low 24s. Then we've got Wesker P5 on a 24-2 with Sway in 6th, Zumpy 7th, AP in 8th, Adamako and City Posh round out your top 10. And then the cars with the free tyre choice, we've got Callboy in 11th, Tom Duval 12th, Graham 13th, Aaron 14th, Ross in 15th, Pagani 16th, Tico and Lennon, who didn't set a lap time. Unfortunately, his lap time got invalidated, so he will start at the very back. So then, there we have it. There's your grid. So let's get some predictions then. Max, come to you quickly. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Oh, I'm going to go for Scuba.
Scuba for the win now. We've got a very grey, overcast track, which potentially lends itself to some rain. This is the British Grand Prix after all. It probably wouldn't be the British Grand Prix without a little bit of rain potentially thrown into the mix. So are we going to see some adverse conditions?
No clue yet.
So yeah, of course, last season we finished at Silverstone. Scuba did a very dominant victory here from the front, while Dutch and Tico treated us to some fantastic side-by-side action. With Dutch, of course, having already more or less secured the title, he just needed to finish. So it was some incredible racing to witness between those two last season. Obviously, still a long way to go, so I'm not expecting such theatrics from the two Dutch drivers. But yes, it's looking very grey, isn't it? Even so, potential rain on the horizon. We shall see. We shall see. So let's look at the tyres then. Exactly. So here we go then, rundown of the grid. On pole position is Dutch Tricks, looking to bite back in this championship fight with his teammate. Then he will lead us off pole. Alongside him is FTRL Panda. Fantastic effort from him. Joining him on the front row, I think it's his best start of the season. Not too sure, but yeah, Panda joining him on the front row. Enduro Chris, blisteringly quick lap, but just dropped off the front row at the end there. At the very end, but still, great effort from him. Can he transfer that qualifying pace into a race result worthy of that pace? He starts third alongside Scuba, current championship leader, winner last time out. He's at the sharp end. Can he do anything about his teammate who has taken pole position? Then Wesker lines up P5, who's coming in quite confident in the chat earlier. Starting on the third row alongside Sway, who wasn't sure he was going to make it tonight, but he has, and he starts on the third row. Glad to have him with us. Then Zumpy, the season 13 Div 1 champ, lines up P7. Good effort from him. He's alongside our newest arrival, AP. He lines up P8. Adamako in P9 in the second Ferrari. Had a rough and ready race in China. Fortunate contact on lap 1. So both Ferraris in strife early on last time out. So we're hoping his race goes a little bit smoother this time. He lines up P9, also on the softs of course. And City Posh in the top 10 in the McLaren. So both McLarens into the top 10. He also starts on the soft. Then the cars who have got the free tyre choice. A lot of soft tyre runners I've noticed here. Corway P11 starts on the soft tyre, as does Tom Duval, who starts 12th. Graham in 13th in the second of the Renaults, also on the soft. And we've got Aaron starting 14th on the mediums. Positive Ross on the softs in 15th. His teammate is 16th. Pagani's on the medium tyres, as is Tico, who is 17th. And Lennon at the very back, also on the medium tyres. So, a bit mix of strategies at the back. See how we get on then. So everybody onto the grid. Drivers lining up. Rom's gone for Dutch, Scuba and Panda for the podium. And he's hoping we see some rain in Div 1 for the first time. It's been a while since we've seen some rain in Div 1, hasn't it? So I think it's just been saved for Div 2 recently, hasn't it? So there we go. So everybody getting into position.
3, 4, 5 red lights in.
It's a long hold and away we go. It's a good start from Scuba. He's got a good drive off the line. He's past Enduro Chris. He's alongside Panda into the walls. Gone City Posh in the background. So Scuba gets a demon start off the P2, with Dutch Tricks has held the lead as they come into farm for the first time. Everybody's sorting themselves out. Oh, there's somebody in the background gone round. That was AP. Oh, he's in strife again for the second time in as many weeks on the opening lap. And he's gone around. The Dutch Tricks has got the jump. His teammate has gone with him. And already looking to the inside as they come into Brooklands for the first time. But holds the lead. Holds the position. Teammate right on the back of him already. So we've already... Look, oh, Dutch power slides out of Luffield. So he gets on the power. It's going to do the soft tyres no good. So then, Enduro Chris has got back into P3. Wesker's up to 4. Panda down 3 positions from his front row start into P5. Zumpy is P6 ahead of Sway. Adamako up 1 to 8th. Then you've got Cowboy 9th and Tico already into the top 10 from 17th on the grid. He's had a storming start. Graham is P11, Aaron P12, going side by side with Positive Ross as they come out of Chapel onto the Hangar Straight for the first time. Can Ross get the drive down into Stowe? He's looking, but not quite close enough. Got Pagani then in 14th, Lennon 15th. Tom Duval is down the back as he had some dramas on lap 1. He looks like he's got some wing damage on the right side. Is he going to pit? No, he's going to carry on. And then you've got AP coming round. Had a spin in the background. So we went through Farm for the first time, and then City Posh into the pits, who... Something happened to him, he went into the wall. On the start-finish straight then, so I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if it's traction or contact, but City Posh in dramas already. Here we go, then the Mercedes duo, nose to tail, Scuba right under the rear wing of his teammate. Doesn't have a look into Brooklands this time though. Dutch Tricks continue to lead, but look at Scuba coming quick there through Luffield. He's looking very racy. These two very, very close. Scuba thinks about a move into Cop's corner here. Dutch just coming off a little bit there, but he's back over, takes the racing line. Behind these two, Enduro Chris still in P3, then managed to get ahead of Panda. So despite getting jumped by Scuba, he jumped the McLaren and he's held his starting place. Wesker's up one into P4 and Panda gets his obligatory awful start. He's down to P5. First penalty's gone to Ross, and he's the first to pick up a penalty on lap 2. So he's not hanging around on the penalty front. But all still very closely matched. Some people like right on the back of Panda. So they come round the final corner. Scuba's at the fastest lap. Quickly tried though by Enduro Chris with a 28.5. And DRS is now enabled then, so are we going to see a change for the lead? Scuba looking very racy. He is right under the rear wing of his teammate as they come onto the Wellington straight for the first time. This will be the first DRS zone. He's just 3.5 tenths back. Dutch then not burning too much ERS. Trying to hold on this time around then. Any moves further back. Pico still up to P10, but no further progress from him yet. Ross still all over the back of Aaron. Yeah, Phoebe commenting that Scuba looks very strong around here. This is one of his favourite tracks. So I expect Scuba to be resolutely glued to the back of Dutch Tricks for a lot of this race if he doesn't decide to take the lead. Everybody just hanging on. So Tom Duval, despite that wing damage, is
gonna do it. He's gonna do it. No.
No, he's not close enough again. He got right to the back there at the end of the straight, but Dutch defending very well, using his ERS properly. But look at these top 4. In fact, there's still a big train going on here, so nobody's really been dropped yet. Everybody's still in DRS range of each other, from 1st all the way down to 14th, all in a DRS train. Pagani's the first one. So it's a bit like last week, wasn't it, at the very end?
That's what we like to
So the gap's not opening up yet. Oh, and Ross picks up a second penalty. So Ross really chomping through the penalties. He's got 2 and we're only on lap 4. So whereas Scuba this time, he is about the same gap he was last time around, so it's probably not close enough as they head into Brooklands. Just be a little bit closer, but your top 4 just inching away. No, still on the DRS zone. Got a gap now between Graham and Tico. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in the background. It is that Lennon has gone around? It's like Lennon's made a mistake at Brooklands. He has. Drops down to the back behind his teammate. So both Williams have had strife in the opening 4 laps, and now they run together 16th and 17th. It's not performance, I swear. Got 2 Mercedes at the front, 2 Williams at the back. Onto the hang straight. Dutch has opened up a bit of a gap this time, so Scuba not that close. Further back, anybody looking for a move? We've got Callboy and Tico. Tico round the outside into Stowe and up into P9 he goes. So Tico already passed half the field. He's into the top 9 now. He's latching very quickly onto the back of Adamako. Of course, these two have had some run-ins in recent weeks, so that's the fastest lap as well. So Tico is flying at this stage of the race. Yellow flag sector 3. Who was that? Possibly Pagani. He's now behind Tom Duval. Tico looking up the inside of Adamako through Aintree. Tico looked early for that move, lost a bit of time. to Adamako, and that let Callboy right into the back of him. So how he's looking at the back of the Red Bull. There was a bit of a gap opened up between Panda and Wesker, but Panda's managed to just close that up again through the first couple of corners, first sector of the lap again. He had lost the, or potentially lost DRS, but he's back in within a second. Onto the back straight, where are the Mercedes? We've got a yellow flag again. Oh, and Pagani's gone at Cop's corner. Is that going to be his virtual safety car? So, virtual safety car out on lap 5, first retirement. Unfortunately, falls to Pagani. Looks like he's just lost it coming out of Cops.
Dutch is going in.
Dutch tricks pits. So then, question is, how long does this virtual safety car last? Pagani's car has been cleared, so they could potentially go racing quite quickly. Who else has pitted? So we've got Dutch in the pit, Sway's pitted, Adamako's pitted, Callboy's pitted, Tom Duval's pitted. Of course, he's got some wing damage, so that will help him. And AP also into the pits. And we're racing again then, so... Lennon's come round. He's got a drive. Oh, Lennon's got a drive through for speeding under the virtual safety car. We've seen a number of people being caught out by that.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
I think we've both been fallen foul of that one, haven't we? So,
yeah.
So there we go then. So Scuba continues to lead, and Chris tucked up behind him. Wesker with him, Panda as well, and Azumpi. Then you've got a bit of a gap back to Tico. So he's lost the DRS. So he's 1.4 seconds off the back of Zumpy. So top 5, all within DRS range of each other. And then Tico's now got a bit of work to do. Let's have a look at the interval between the race leaders. So Dutch Tricks is 23 seconds back. He has now gone on to the medium tyre. So how much longer does Scuba stay on those tyres? Does he respond?
Oh no, one more.
No, he's going to carry on round. Into the pits comes Panda. So Panda has pulled out. He bails out into the pits. Of course, it's a very long pit lane here with this the new entrance. Of course, you miss out Vale and Club, but it's a very slow pit lane, and of course you feed back in on the exit of I think the village corner.
How long does a pit lane take?
That's a good question. Sway picks up a penalty there as well. So a penalty for him. Now Dutch Trick coming down the start finish right now. Panda in the pits, and he's going to clear him. Now where does Panda filter out? Is he going to get ahead of Sway, Adamako, Corby? He does, so he's filtered into that gap. But it looks like he's lost a little bit of time to Dutch Tricks then, so the undercut has worked quite nicely for Dutch there. He's built up a bit of an advantage over Panda, who wasn't too far back. Gap to the race leader, still 23 seconds. That gap holding steady. Scuba matching Dutch's pace at this stage of the race. The question is though, can those guys who have gone on to the medium tyres already get to the end? Silverstone is not known for being a overly high tyre wear circuit. Yeah, it's top 3, top 4 carry on. Tico as well, of course. Tico on the medium tyre already, where he started on those, so he's going to be running longer with a view of getting onto the soft tyre at the end. Scuba sets the fastest lap of the race in a 27.8. So Scuba is flying. Well, Dutch Tricks is just chipping away at that lead a little bit. He now comes into a Vale. Let's have a look at his lap time. Well, the final corner. He's a 27.4, that's the fastest lap of the race, so Dutch Tricks is now the fastest man on track. In P9, that gap 23.3 seconds, holding steady. Into the pits has come Lennon. So he now pits. Race leader still Scuba, gap now up to 0.8 of a second, still in DRS, and Wesker has slipped back a little bit from... sorry, that's still the leader, isn't it? So look at the interval. No, he's still in DRS range. Chris is just inching away. Sway makes a move on Panda. And Panda's gone back onto the soft tyre, interestingly. So Panda looks to be two-stopping. Unless maybe Panda's doing a drive-through.
Oh,
I did see a penalty thing against his name. I think he may have sped under the virtual safety car as well. So unfortunately, that's kind of ruined Panda's race. Fortunately, in comes Wesker. In comes Scuba as well. So first and third in. Enduro Chris now takes over as the race leader. He goes on to lap 9. Zumpy comes round as well. TK now up to third. Now, where does Scuba come out relative to his teammate is the next question. Graham's come round as well, so he's carried on. Oh, and Ross has been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. So unfortunately, both AlphaTauris are out.
Oh, the Mercedes not going out yet. Yeah, they're spotting there.
There goes Dutch. Where is Scuba? Yeah, Dutch has got a massive undercut on his teammate. Scuba out, he's just ahead of Sway. But Scuba now has some work to do. Scuba is 5 seconds back from Dutch Tricks. So what can Scuba do now? He's got 2 lap fresher tyres. But that undercut has been massive. However, he does have some clear track now, so Scuba has got a little bit of work to do here. Because catching 5 seconds to anybody in this league is difficult. Catching 5 seconds to Dutch Tricks is one of the harder things to do. But if anybody can do it, it's probably this man. It appears we've got a Mrs. Tom Smith in the chat. Good evening. Good evening, D. Shout out to you. You hope Aaron loses. Well, he's doing okay at the moment, but he's still got a pit stop to make. Are we excited for Cyberpunk? Are you excited for Cyberpunk 2077, Max?
What
is that a game? It's a game that's coming out shortly. It's a bit like GTA, but a bit futuristic version.
Never heard about it.
Never even heard of it. Well, apparently Max isn't all psyched up for it. I'm interested by it, so we'll see. Are you going to be commandeering Tom's PlayStation, D? To play that? It's fine. If you want to do it on Fridays, that's fine. Friday evenings, about 8 o'clock, definitely take over and tell him he's not allowed it. 100%. So then on to lap 10. Tico is your race leader. We've got a good battle going on for P2 at the moment. It's Graham leading Aaron. Graham's still on those soft tyres that he started with. Of course, he had fresh soft tyres, so they can go a little bit longer than the guys who qualified them. Aaron very wide there through Cops. The dirty air just caught him out a little bit. That should allow Graham open a little bit of advantage, but I imagine Graham will probably be in maybe this time around. He might go one more lap. Try and extend this stint as much as he can do. Aaron now gaining with the DRS. He goes to the outside and swoops up into P2. So move done. Is Graham going to peel up into the pits? He does. So Aaron gets the position and through he goes. Scuba then has started to chip away at that lead of Dutch Tricks there. You see him in the background. That's now 4.6 seconds. Still a long way to go though. We've got Adamaka and Wesker side by side into Stowe. Wesker gets the move done. Slightly fresher tyres with the DRS and through he goes. Quite critically though, he's managed to jump Enduro Chris, who's come out in P9, so that extended first in has hurt Chris a little bit. But he will have fresher tyres coming in. In fact, Wesker's on the hard tyres as well, so Wesker's gone onto the hards. Everybody else onto the mediums. So that's an interesting strategy call. Gets very close to the back of his teammate there, Enduro Chris. Yeah, Wesker going defensive right to the inside. The two Ferraris going at it now down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. Chris have a look up the inside, but Adamako shuts the door in his face. Sweeping around the outside Callboy now looking up the inside as well in the Renault. And then you've got Zumpy behind them in P10. Chris has had a great run there through Woodcut to the outside. They're going to go side by side through Cops, are they? Ferraris go side by side. Oh, Chris gets forced out a little bit wide. Adamako retains the position for now, but Chris looking very racy at this stage. He wants to get ahead. Meanwhile, the gap between Dutch Tricks and Scuba continues to fall. It's now just 3.7 seconds, so he is flying. Scuba on a charge. Race leader still Tico by 4.4 seconds from Aaron. And then you've got Dutch, who is the first person to have pitted. Of course, they both top two started on the medium tyres. Scuba with the fastest lap of the race, 27.1. Staying on this battle with the Ferraris though, Chris looking very racy. He's definitely quicker than Adamako at this stage. Can he find a way through into farm perhaps? No. Oh, there's a contact there. Not close. I think. Oh, he's had a big slide there then as he gets on the power through Aintree. And now he's got Callboy right on the back of him. Callboy's up the inside, into Brooklands, and position gained for Callboy. So Chris has gone from being on the attack to defending. He's going to try and hang it around the outside now with Luffield. But move done for Callboy. Although Chris is still coming back at him. He's trying this move again around the outside. No, not got the overlap this time. He has to drop back in behind as they filter through Cop's corner for the 12th time. Chris there just a little bit wide there through Maggots. The dirty air just caught him a little bit though, but Callboy's now caught it from Adamako through Chapel, and that's put Chris right back on his tail again. Both of them got DRS. Wesker still at the head of this train. Great battle going on here. Wesker at the head of it. Adamako now closing back in on him. He's got the more durable tyre, but it's definitely the slowest of this group. Panda's now picked up a penalty as well. Both McLarens down in 15th and 16th, having starting 2nd and 10th. Not the race they wanted tonight.
Uwe has done a good comeback on Dash, winning some time back.
Yes, 3.2 seconds. We've got a yellow flag. It is... Oh, City Posh has gone on the exit of Chapel.
No.
He's had a spin. Should be able to get going again though. Are we going to see a safety car? Can he get moving? He's on his way again, and we should be okay. Zumpy having a look at the back of Chris, and Callboy having a look at Adamako. So both Ferraris under attack. Callboy up the inside, coming out of Luffield. He's got the ahead of him into Woodcut. Move done. Callboy flying. So both Ferraris who were on the attack have now been demoted by a Renault who's charging through. Callboy and Adamako on tyres of equal age. Enduro Chris on 4-lap fresher tyres, but he's going backwards at the moment. He's under attack from Zumpy, who pitted with him. So these guys having a fantastic battle at the moment.
Scuba getting under 3 seconds.
Yeah, let's check in on the race leader then. Tico is your race leader. He's currently moving through Aintree, leading by 5.6 seconds now. Aaron in 2nd. Both these guys running long on the mediums in their first stint. They're going to be very, very quick at the end of this race when they go onto the soft tyre. You've got Dutch in 3rd, 11.6 seconds back from Aaron. Basically, he's about 16 off the race leader. Of course, we've seen it's about 28 seconds, was it, for a pit stop?
Yeah,
I think for Scuba, bearing in mind Scuba came up 5 seconds behind Dutch, so... And he was 23 in front, so it's about 28-second loss. So they're going to have a bit of time to be making up, but they're going to be very, very quick at the end of this race. As Dutch Tricks has a big wobble coming out of Luffield, and that gap. Where is his teammate? There he is. 2.4 seconds now. That gap has halved since he's come out of his pit stop. So Scuba is charging. Sway in P5. And then in the background, Wesker still hanging on to P6, Callboy in close attendance. And the Ferraris have resumed their battle. And Adamako ahead of Chris. They were taking a very wide line there through Beckett's. DRS train begins again. Tico pits. Race leader is in. And onto the soft tyre he goes. So he's going to be very, very quick. Expect to see him start lighting up the timing screens. From here on out, where does he filter out? It's going to be the first key. Is he going to get ahead of this battle, which is coming right now? I think these cars are going to get ahead of him. It's coming out of the pit lane now. Here he comes. They're coming through Abbey. Here he comes. Where does he filter out? Right in the middle of the Ferraris.
Oh, yes. More action.
Oh, contact with Adamako. Adamako gets around the outside. Oh, into the back of the Ferrari goes now. These two have come to blows already. And that is not what you need to fire Teacup. He's out into P8. Straight on the attack. Is he going to send it into Brooklands? No, he waits for the moment. Again, more contact. Oh, they're touched again. Tico's wide in Luffield. He's trying to cut back now. He's got the more grip. He's gone the soft tyre. Adamako slices to the inside. This is getting feisty.
Nice direction from the boys.
Indeed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's on the grass.
He's getting pushed over.
These two. Oh, Tico's a big slide. Oh, Corboy's off ahead of them. Corboy's lost it in the middle of Mackett's. And spun off ahead of them. Tico somehow survived. Wheel banging. Adamaka now under attack from his teammate, who's up the inside into. Oh, I can't remember. Where are we? I lost the card name. Oh dear me. And Zumpy, meanwhile, in all of that, has taken Enduro Chris. So Enduro Chris, who was on the attack as they went into Stowe, that was the corner. And Zumpy managed to get ahead as Aaron now pits from the race lead. He's now going to come out in P10.
So he's charging either.
Corboy then, Corboy was doing so well. He's right on the back of Wesker. Enduro Chris has finally got ahead of his teammate, so somehow he's passed. Zumpy's had a moment somewhere and gone wide. Enduro Chris has now got ahead of his teammate. Tico has just passed Wesker for P4, so Tico is charging. Oh, how he got away with that contact with Adamako as they entered Maggots and Beckett's on the grass. 4-tyre slide, and he gathered it up and took the position. No love lost between those two. And now Tico is charging up to P4, and he's already hunting down Sway, who's on 9-lap old mediums. Of course, he pitted under the virtual safety car, as did Dutch Tricks. Race lead, 1.9 seconds now. 10 laps to go. Aaron has just put a move on Zumpy. And Adamako is going backwards here as Graham has just got a move done on him as well. Oh, Adamako's picked up wing damage somewhere. So he is hurting. Is he going to peel into the pits? He does. As Tico sets the fastest lap of the race. Here he comes then. Tico is charging. Adamako pits for a fresh front wing. He's going to go into the soft tyre as well and see what time he can make back at the end. So Dutch Tricks is your race leader now, 1.6 seconds. Scuba continues to chip away. Zumpy is in the pits as well, so I think Zumpy's had an off somewhere, picked up some wing damage. He pits for the second time. He'll probably come out on the soft tyre now as well. Yeah, Fever just putting out Scuba almost in DRS, and look how much closer he is now. He was halfway down the straight when we first checked in on these two. Now he is right there. Inching in, Tico on the back of Sway. Now he's in DRS range, so Tico is potentially going to take a podium position here. Then the question is, can he chip away at that 7-second gap to the race leaders? Gap now 1.2 seconds. Dutch Stowe has got more ERS at the moment, so Scuba is pushing. Tico gets the move done into Stowe, round the outside, and with it such a big tyre advantage, it was probably no point Sway fighting that. Can he stay with him, get pulled along for a couple of laps, or is Tico going to check out and set about trying to chase down the two Mercedes at the very front? Sway though, having a very good race. Wesker behind him's on the hard tyre, so he's not as quick at this stage, but he has got a more durable tyre. I've got what has happened. I've lost the session. Are you still in the lobby?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just me then, so please bear with us. I have been kicked out from the lobby, so you'll have to keep us updated as to what's going on, Max.
Yes. Kuba well catching up.
Max, you do me a favour, can you send me an invite please? I'm getting the session does no longer exists message. Not ideal, no.
Give me a second. Where is Lee Cole? Should you have this one?
Yes, thank you. Super. There we go.
And Scuba is leading the race, and Dutch Chris entering the pits.
Oh, so maybe that was too early a stop. Maybe he did stop too early. It did seem like a very early time to make it a pit stop to get to the end. And so it seems to have proven. Dutch has lost. Dutch needs an invite as well, mate. If you, maybe I'll. It seems like a few people have had that issue by the look of it. I did wonder why only 13 people would appear to be in the lobby.
That is true because I saw him ghosted when looking at Scuba's camera view.
So drama has befallen him. Let me just send Dutch an invite quickly. Not ideal, unfortunately. Codemaster's pooing itself. So Dutch, so we've been denied. A potentially brilliant battle for the race lead. Lennon sets the fastest lap of the race then, so fresh soft tyres for him. So drama. I can't see any interval at the moment, so yeah, unfortunately the game's having a bit of a glitch. Yeah, I've lost the, so something's gone a little bit wrong there. So Scuba is your race leader. Tika coming out the final corner. Still got Sway not too far behind. Oh, here we go. We're getting some times back now.
In your eyes, Lee, how long will this mediums from Scuba hold?
So 10 laps. I mean, I think from what the game popped up at the start, where it gives you the suggested strategy, that it should be okay. Obviously, he's got 6-second lead now. Obviously, Tico's going to have been pushing, so he needs to obviously keep in mind his tyres. He's only taken about a second out of Scuba, actually, so he has been charging for a couple of laps. He probably needs to just save his tyres, I think. Potentially, it's too much to ask to get there. Just have to wait and see. Adam Makano sets the fastest lap then, so having pitted for a fresh wing, he's on soft and now he takes the fastest lap away. He's chasing down Aaron. He's just got ahead of Zumpy, who they pitted together. And they've got Lennon just behind them, so what have we got battle-wise? So Scuba is your race leader by 6.6 seconds. Tico in second, Sway in third, holding that gap to Wesker, who's in P4 on the hard tyre, who's got Enduro Chris now closing down on him on those medium tyres. So currently P5, he does have a penalty though. Graham doing a very good job up in P6.
Yes.
He ran long in that first stint, of course, on the soft tyres, so he's got fresher rubbers than a lot of the guys around him. Ahead of his teammate, of course, who had that spin. Corboy now down in P7. And you've got AP, who's up to P8. Dutch Tricks just put a move on Tom Deval, so he's back in his car. And what can he do now? He's got some fresh rubber. What can he recover? So unlucky there. Unfortunately, server errors once again playing havoc with League Racing. Dutch now up to P9. Yeah, AP with another penalty there, so he's got Tom Deval in the top 10. We've got a yellow flag and a virtual safety car. Oh, Adamako's gone. Where has that happened? It's coming out of Stowe. Now it's quite easy there if you run a little bit wide over the curb. Of course, I'm trying to think back to when it was. Was it maybe season 10? Silverstone, final lap. Slow car on the inside of Stowe corner. Contact into the wall. Went FTRL oven, I believe it was.
Yes.
And of course we've got the drama from the Performance League of season 4, I believe. We're flying for home on course for a championship. Dropped it out of Stowe on, I believe, one of the last couple of laps, and handed Panda the title. So that corner has claimed many a victim over the years, and Adamako has added his name to that list, unfortunately.
And safety car ending.
And away we go then. So 4 laps to go after they complete the one they're on. So 4.5 laps to go. Scuba is your race leader. Gap now 5.6 seconds. So Tico has just chipped away a little bit, but still quite a big gap between the two of them. Sway in P3 has a penalty though, so he's got to manage that gap to Wesker. Wesker, of course, on fresher tyres but harder tyres, so he could come back to him yet. Enduro Chris continues to close on him as well, so the Chris also has a penalty. So Wesker potentially looking at a podium here. He could salvage P3 if he can close to within 3 seconds of Sway.
Come on, Wesker.
Graham doing a great job in P6, no penalties for him either, so if he can close in on Enduro Chris, who picks up another penalty. So now Graham is on for a net P5 if he can stay penalty 3. Got a big gap back to his teammate, Callboy in P7, who's got a penalty. AP has now got a flying Dutchman behind him. Dutch Tricks on the charge. He's on the back of him with Tom Duval hanging on to the top 10. And you've got Aaron, who's had to pit again. So I'm not quite sure what happened to Aaron. Down in P11, not been his night. And there is Dutch Tricks getting the move done on AP down the hanger straight with the DRS. Easy overtake and up to P8 he goes. Now what more can he do? He's got 2.8 seconds to close on Callboy. So more, definitely I think P7 might be the most that Dutch can salvage. He sets the fastest lap though at 26.1. So Dutch Tricks is storming on fresh tyres, fresh soft tyres. Of course the game chose to pit him while he was out of his car.
What a lap.
So that is a very, very quick lap from Dutch Tricks. Oh, it appears that Adamako and Zumpy came to blows at Stowe. Of course, it is a place where a lot of people do try and make moves. Can be done. Unfortunately, it looks as if those two have come to blows. So, unfortunately for Adam, that's the race over. Shame, as he was showing some great pace, some great battles in there with his teammates. And with a Callboy in the middle part of the race. So race leader, still Scuba, 4.5 seconds down the gap. So Tico continues to chip away, but he is running out of laps. So we're on to lap 24 now, 26. Scuba, no penalties, neither does Tico. So that's very good for Tico. Tico, of course, has a bit of an annoying habit of losing positions due to penalties, but so far kept it very nice and clean. And he's on for a P2 tonight, so that will be a solid return for him from 17th on the grid. Sway in P3, just out of penalty range of Wesker. And I'm not sure, I don't know if you can check the penalty situation, Max, for me.
Yeah.
See what Sway has got in terms of penalties. Is it 3 seconds? He's still on for a P3. If it's more than that, Wesker is on to take that final spot on the podium.
So we are going to look at Sway.
Dutch Tricks on the back of Callboy as they head into Brooklands. Also got Lennon and Zumpy together a little bit further back. Coming to Abbey. Lennon, of course, on fresh softs. That's a Zumpy, in fact. So, in fact, Zumpy's tyres are a lap fresher. But he does have a penalty. So, Lennon on to gain at least one position. And then there is a big gap forward to Aaron. So, I think P12 might be the most he can salvage. Dutch Tricks.
Sway is on 3 seconds and
so on 3 seconds. So Sway should, if things stay as they are, cling on to the podium. However, that gap is getting closer. Here comes Dutch on Callboy. Into Stowe. Fresher tyres. Down the inside. Move done. And Dutch Tricks is on his way up to P7. However, he's now got 8 seconds to catch in 2 laps. I probably think that's too much even for Dutch Tricks. Race lead gap is now just 2.7 seconds. Tico, having paced himself for a couple of laps, has really turned the wick up. And that gap is 2.7 seconds. We've got a yellow flag sector 2. Oh, who's gone round? Is that Lennon? Lennon's lost it on the exit of Chapel. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. Is that City? That might be City Posh getting out of the way. It is City Posh getting out of the way, so that's okay. Don't have to worry about that one. So Lennon having a moment coming out of Chapel in that battle with Zumpy, having just picked up a penalty. That's dropped him 9 seconds off the back, so the battle for P12 has ended. Enduro Chris has now caught Wesker. So Wesker, who is still tantalisingly close to snatching that podium away from Sway, has now got a Ferrari all over the back of him. However, Chris does have a penalty, so Wesker can afford to let him go if he so wishes. As we start the final lap of the race, Scuba leads. And there he is. And where is P2? There is Tico. Tico can see him, but 2.4 seconds in a lap is going to be a lot to ask. Those soft tyres probably past their best now as well. But it is a stunning drive from Tico, who's charged forward from 17th on the grid. Sway hanging on to P3, still at 7/10 of a second. It's tantalisingly close. Wesker's pushing, but he's obviously got to defend as well. Enduro Chris closing in behind him. Round Luffield for the final time. Ferrari man wants to be close enough as he comes out of Maggots and Beckett's to maybe think about a move. And Corboy, despite being overtaken by Dutch on much fresher tyres, is sticking to the back of the Mercedes. Still in DRS range, in fact, here, so it's not over potentially this battle. But
look at Wesker. 2.2 seconds.
Oh, Wesker's getting so close. It's within a couple of tenths now. It's opened up a little bit now, but into Vale for the final time. It has been a stunning drive. We've been denied a fantastic battle between the two Mercedes, but Scuba wins the British Grand Prix from Tico, who comes home in P2. The gap for third is less than 1/10 of a second. Sway does all he can. He crosses the line now. What can Wesker do? It is... Oh, he's missed out by a 1/10 of a second.
What a comeback, Wesker. Unlucky.
Graham out the final corner. Is he going to jump to P5? Not quite. 7/10. He misses out on the top 5 by 7/10 of a second. Dutch Tricks out of the final corner. He will be ruining that glitch in the game that kicked him from the lobby while he was leading the race. Corbo comes home P8. AP comes home P9. Tom Duval comes home P10. And Aaron is going to be 11th as he comes around the final corner. Tom Duval was just 93 thousandths of a second away from jumping AP on penalties. Aaron comes home with P11. Then we've got Zumpy, who done some good battles along the way. There's also some dramas off stream. He'll take P12. Lennon out the final corner. He takes P13. And with the McLaren boys lap down finishing, that is race over. Driver of the day, Tico. I think that's a fairly safe bet from the back of the grid. Unfortunately, the run of winners from the back row of the grid has ended. Safe for the Mercedes, but it is Scuba who wins for Silverstone for the second time in a row, and he extends his championship lead. Tico, brilliant P2 for him, and Sway hanging on by the barest of margins to take P3. Good drive from him. Well, Silverstone delivers once again, doesn't it, Max? Great racing up and down the field, some great battles, some great individual drives. And if you like the action tonight, we've got some more of it tomorrow as well. So here's your final finishing order then. Scuba with the win, taking it by 3.1 seconds in the end then. So Tico's tyres probably past their best at the end there, but a great P2 for him. Sway takes P3 by just 1/10 of a second. That penalty just staying out of range of Wesker, who comes home with a P4 on those hard tyres. Enduro Chris comes home P5. I think he'll be fairly happy with that, despite qualifying third. Still a good result for him though. Graham with a brilliant P6 kept himself out of trouble, and he gets a top 6 result for his efforts. Dutch Tricks with the fastest lap, but that was scant consolation for him, should have been battling for the win.
So unlucky.
So unlucky indeed. Callboy then with a P8, AP P9, and Tom Duval rounds out the top 10. And then outside after that we've got Aaron in P11. A couple of pit stops for him, so that second dropped him out of contention, where he might have finished had he not needed a second stop. Zumpy P12, Lennon P13, Panda P14. What dramas befell him? Fortunately, that virtual safety car speeding penalty cost him any chance of a good result. And City Porsche, who had dramas off the line into the wall in his race, never really recovered. And then the retirements: Adamaco, Ross, and Pagani. Well, there we go. That's the end of Div 1 action. But of course, back tomorrow for some more from Div 2 back at Silverstone. Are you excited for tomorrow, Max?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, Silverstone is a great circuit to drive, great fun to drive. Try not to die through the high-speed corners, I think is the aim of the game.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then of course, if after the F1 action tomorrow, we've got GT Sport back on Thursday and Friday this week, coming from Mount Panorama, aka Bathurst. GT2, we've got a great battle going on between Steph and between Panda, who currently separated by about 5 points between the top three. Victories last time out for Fever in the Group 4 race, and Peatman took a brilliant victory in the Group 3 race with Panda P2 to keep that battle intense. With Steph also strong result from him, and those three in title battle. And then on Friday we've got GT1 action again, also from Bathurst. It is Tom Smith who leads the way, but a victory in the Group 4 race for unsafe release. That Audi doing bits again, and expect that to be the car to beat in the Group 4 race. And then of course Tom won the Group 3 race last time out of Fuji. So that's the end of the action. Thank you very much for joining us. Do apologise for all the technical issues. Hopefully Codemasters will sort itself out and we won't have these dramas. Hopefully we'll have a nice, clean and drama-free race tomorrow. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the action, and we will see you tomorrow for Div 2 action.